If a machine can replicate your YouTube content in 5 seconds, you're honestly wasting your time. And unfortunately, right now, most expertise-based business owners are making content that's way too easy to copy. Information anyone could find, organized the way anyone would organize it. That's just commodity content. What actually gets clients is the opposite, what I call connoisseurship. Your judgment, your experience, your specific take on what works and what doesn't. And unless you understand this key difference, you're gonna keep publishing videos that keep you busy, but do absolutely nothing for your business. So today I wanna show you why most videos you're making are a waste of time and the 5 shifts I've made in my own content that made me 10 times more money with even less effort. But to understand where your current videos might be failing, I want you to think about the last time you tried to buy a bottle of wine. You know, there are 100 bottles on the shelf, and every single one of them has a label telling you the grape, the region, the year, maybe even the tasting notes. And that is information, it's all right there. But none of that actually helps you pick the right bottle for tonight, you know? You're standing there staring at a wall of data, but you're no closer to a decision. But then the guy behind the counter walks over and says, skip that one, grab this. Trust me, you'll love it. And you take it home and you do love it because that guy isn't giving you more data to interpret. He is giving you the benefit of his judgment. He has spent years tasting, comparing, learning what works and what doesn't. And now he can just look at you, hear what you're having for dinner, and tell you exactly what to buy. That's the difference between commodity content and connoisseurship. And most experts on YouTube right now, they're acting like wine labels, listing facts, reporting data, when what people actually want is the guy behind the counter who just tells them what to do and why.
Smart.
And here's why this matters more right now than it ever has. AI has completely destroyed the bar to entry. Anyone with ChatGPT, which is everybody by the way, can research a topic in 5 minutes. They can turn it into a script and have a video ready by lunch without really knowing anything about the topic. And if a machine can replicate your value proposition in 5 minutes, you don't have one. So to fix this, you just need to bring something to your content that no machine and no competitor can replicate. Your judgment, your experience, your specific take on what works, what doesn't, and why. That's connoisseurship, and that's what your clients actually pay for. Now, I'm not saying AI is bad. It's just a tool like any other tool. It's all in how you use it. I personally use it to help me save a lot of time on my videos, but it always starts with me, not with ChatGPT. So that should be supplemental to your own experience and your opinions, stories, and your own systems, right? It can take all of your own ideas, and it's really good at organizing them and even giving you a good first draft script, but it should never be the backbone of your content. Now, if you want the full YouTube strategy in a small group setting where I personally weigh in on your strategy and help you stop wasting time on your videos, just click the link down in the description. Okay, so now let's talk about the 5 ways that you can bring true connoisseurship to your videos and elevate what you're doing above what all your competition's probably doing now. Strategy 1, the eye flip. Whenever you teach a concept on camera, you're positioning yourself as a teacher, and that's fine, but people don't hire teachers. They hire practitioners who've been through it themselves. And the difference between those two things often comes down to 2 words: how to versus how I. How to is theory, it's general, it's here are the steps to build a funnel. Anyone can say that, and now AI can say it just as well. How I is specific. It's here's the funnel I built for a real business. Here's what happened when we launched it, and here's what we had to change when the first version flopped. That's a completely different video. Same topic, but one of them could have come from this guy's blog post or this woman's LinkedIn post, and the other one could only have come from you. So I shifted from how to how I videos myself years ago. I went from mostly doing website and SEO tutorials to making videos around real situations, right? I did a video breaking down the YouTube success of one of my students. I did a full walkthrough showing how I added $10,000 a month to a service business. I made one called How This YouTube Funnel Tripled My Business in 12 Months, where I didn't just explain the system, I showed how it played out inside my own business, the good and the messy parts. And those videos got more of the right kind of attention from people who actually wanted to sign up for my programs because they could tell I'd actually done the thing they want to learn. Now, important nuance here, I'm not saying you should title every video, How I Did X or I Tried Y, Here's What Happened. Most people clicking are gonna be new to your channel, they don't know you yet, so your title still needs to be about them and their problem. But inside that video, that's where you help them through that problem based on what you figured out yourself. Strategy 2, create your own method and name it. You're probably giving out genuinely great advice, but if there's nothing distinctive about how you deliver it, no framework, no repeatable system, no language that's uniquely yours, people really don't have any reason to choose you over, anyone else saying similar things. There's nothing for them to grab onto and remember. And this isn't just my opinion, there's real science behind this. Researchers found that when you put a name on a concept, even a totally made up name, people are gonna rate it as way more credible than the exact same explanation without one. And this isn't just about perception either, it hits the business side pretty hard. Data from the coaching industry shows that people with a named signature framework typically charge 30 to 50% more than others with the same level of experience. And it speeds up the sales process too, because when someone finds your named system through your content, they don't show up asking, so what do you do? They show up already bought in. They want the system. You're not selling anymore, you're enrolling. So all you gotta do is just take the process you already use with your clients and package it. Give it a brandable name, give it a shape. Turn it into something that people remember. I've done this myself. I came up with what I called the Customer Saga Framework. All that really was a top to bottom series of sections that go on your homepage that used a specific storytelling style to turn cold visitors into buyers. And in this video, I came up with the term authority loading. I could have just said, build your authority, but this is a proprietary concept that could actually catch on and be traced back to me in this video. Even in this video you're watching right now, I've already introduced the terms connoisseurship and iFlip. I could have just as easily said, make your videos more about your advice than information, or stop saying how to and say how I. These little terms just become like your own IP that you can go back to over and over again, and people are gonna remember you for them. Look at the Money Guy show. They have their financial order of operations. They call it the FOO. All their fans live by it, and it's fun to say. Sunny Lenarduzzi has her hot script formula. Now, doesn't hot script formula sound way sexier than you need a hook, then an outcome, then a testimonial? Same set of instructions in a completely different package. And ironically enough, you can 100% use AI to help you come up with these names. Just go to ChatGPT or Claude and tell it your process and ask it to come up with like 5 unique, brandable, catchy names, and then just choose the best one. It actually does a really good job at that. All right, strategy 3, challenge popular advice, but bring your receipts. By far the biggest tell of commodity content is it just goes with the flow of what everyone else is saying. It doesn't ever push back on anything, and nobody remembers that stuff because it's just more of the same. But if you've been doing your thing long enough, you've definitely noticed stuff that the mainstream advice gets wrong. So say it, call it out. But, and this is important, don't just trash the advice for the sake of trashing it. That's just being a troll, and trolls don't get a whole lot of clients. Instead, you want to explain why people believed it in the first place in a really empathetic way where you basically say you get it, but then you make your case for why there's a better way. That's what makes this whole thing land. Some of my best performing videos were exactly this. I made one about why boring, low production YouTube videos actually work better than flashy, heavily edited ones, and it made a lot of people rethink what actually matters on YouTube. And I made another one where I said the advice about short form video is wrong and it's not gonna really give you any clients. Directly disagreeing with what a lot of creators are saying, and then of course I explained why. So just pick a common best practice in your space that you happen to disagree with. Make a video explaining why that doesn't work anymore and what you would do instead. All right, strategy 4, think out loud on camera. So most people, when they make a video, they figure out the answer first and then present it so that everything's just nice and clean. And I get it, it's safe and it gives you more control over how you come across. But if that's all you ever do, it's actually gonna work against you because it strips out the most interesting part, how you got to the answer in the first place. And that's the thing that people really wanna see, not just what you do, but how you think. I actually recently made a video where I pulled up 5 real YouTube channels that are run by expertise-based businesses that are actually getting clients. And instead of just listing what they're all doing right in advance and then presenting it, I actually broke each channel down in real time. Like, here's what I'm noticing, here's what's strong, and here are a couple things that I'd probably change if this were my own channel. That kind of real-time analysis shows how your brain works in a much more real way. And this works even better on live streams. You know, when you go live, you can take audience questions, you can give feedback on someone's website or their meal plan or their resume right there on the spot. And there's no substitute for watching an expert work without a net. You can't fake it when you're live, and your audience can feel the difference. Strategy 5, talk about what didn't work. Everybody shares their wins. You know, the internet's basically one giant highlight reel at this point, and it's getting harder and harder for people to buy. It just starts to feel a little bit too calculated and curated, like you're just cherry picking all of your best results. So why not show some of your losses too? It proves you've actually been through it, and it makes people trust you more, not less, because you're clearly not performing success for the camera. A few months back, I made a pretty personal video about everything that I'd learned doing YouTube over the past 8 years. And a big chunk of it was about the failures, you know, the things that I got wrong, the stuff that I was forced to learn the hard way, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows on YouTube, and it probably isn't in your industry either. And that video was able to connect with people in a way that my more strategy-based content just never could. In fact, that YouTube lessons video is really important for any new YouTuber to watch. It's gonna give you so many little lessons that are gonna help you in a big way. So click right here to watch it now and see what I wish that someone had told me when I was getting started. Click right here and we're gonna get into all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'll see you over here in just a second.